a lot of people have been asking me why I'm doing these webinars and if I am actually, charging for them or just why I'm doing them. So I'll tell you why. And let's just start with this picture. The reason I am actually doing these completely free, not for profit. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not even trying to sell you, my lifestyle coaching hours or anything like that. This is completely free for anybody that wants to hear. And the reason is because of this person, this woman that you see here. It's the same woman, it's me. But first I was very thin and I had a very unhealthy lifestyle. And within a year, I actually gained more than 40 pounds. That's the one in the middle. That's me again. And that's within a year period. So size 14. What happened was that I wanted to start getting not thinner or fitter or going back to what I was, but what I wanted to do was actually live longer. As I mentioned before, I have a 6-year-old son, and I said, I want to be here a long time, and I want to live fully. I want to be able to move. I want to be able to be active. And so I made a decision. And the decision was that I was going to go back to a comfortable weight. And that's what I did. So I went down to size 6, and size 6 is perfect for me. Right now, I'm a little bit less than that. I am size 4, but I am comfortable because I don't really have a lot of time to exercise like I did before, but I'm not overeating and I'm eating healthier. And a lot of people kept asking me, how did you lose the weight? Because I actually was able to lose it very fast. I lost the first 20 pounds in less than 60 days. Now, the rest has been coming off slowly. But because the change was so drastic from size 14 to size 6, it was like I said, 20 pounds in 2 months, people said, I want to lose weight like you. And I said, you know what? I didn't try to lose weight. I just really wanted to live longer. And with that, I started my search on what I actually had done or the behaviors that I changed to get to where I needed to get. So, if you give me a second, I'm just uploading my screen. Okay, here it is. So you can chat in the chat box. There's a chat box at the bottom. If this is your first time using Zoom, congratulations. We're going to be doing a lot through Zoom. And if you are on the Facebook, you can also chat a little bit, and I'll go into the chat right after I finish the presentation to see what you guys have asked me. So this is my disclaimer. Like I said, there's 2 disclaimers that I want to do. The first one is that this is a presentation that I have with Simduit. But the other disclaimer I want to do is that everything I say here, it is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. And as I said, you also want to check with your doctor before starting any cleanse and detox, any nutritional change, because it is very important, not only because if you might have a reaction, but also in the positive way. If you have some levels that you're trying to change, like high cholesterol or, lower your sugar, actually going to the doctor and getting some testing done would be great. Now, if you can actually find a functional doctor around your neighborhood or your city, it would be wonderful. And all you have to do is type functional medicine, and you will start finding them very, very often, much more often than before, or a naturopath as well, naturopathic clinic, naturopathic hospital. And these are the ones that we are talking about today. So how to stop overeating. Why do we overeat? This is really the main question. And so why are we overeating? Why are we getting all these unhealthy habits? We just, for me, there's a couple of reasons, but I've been reading a little bit more and, trying to, like I said, prepare of what happened, especially to that woman that you saw, and why did I overeat? But there's several things, because I was overeating because of emotional stress, but there's actually 4 things. The first thing I want to talk about is that we are often in a rush. So our meals are the ones that control our time, but it's our time that controls our lives. So if you are in a high-paced work, or you have to get to work, you have to get to an appointment, or you have no time because you have to get to an appointment, you're feeding yourself through these very short breaks, and you're getting your body confused because you're feeding it when you can, not when it needs to. And so there's 4 things that actually affect your nutrition and the fact that you're overeating. And the 4 are actually very interesting, and they go in this order. And this is the part that I want to point out, because this is the one that I had not learned about before, even when I lost the weight. So the first one that you want to check if you are going through crisis of not knowing why you're eating too much is bacterial. So I've been talking a lot about microbiome, and I've been talking a lot about gut issues and bacteria. And so what you want to know is that we have all kinds of bacteria inside of us, good bacteria, bad bacteria. And again, I don't like to call it good and bad, but just because it's easier for people to understand, it's neither good or bad. We make it bad with the things that we are putting inside our mouth. So what we're eating is actually making it unhealthy, and it's sending the response that we don't want to generate. So when that bacteria grows out of control, it actually communicates with your vagus nerve. And I talked about this on the sugar seminars. And so by sending this signal to your brain through the vagus nerve, it's actually saying, I am hungry, I need sweets, I need sugar. And so you are being controlled by a little monster inside of you. And these little monsters called bacteria, you're the ones that are making it grow by the things that you're eating. So it's almost like a cyclic effect. And so unless we get under control what we're eating, they're going to control us, and it's just going to continue. And a lot of the times people cannot lose weight because of this reason. So if you have a problem with overeating, or you have a problem with excess weight, what you want to do is control first your bacteria. How do you do this? Eat probiotic food like sauerkraut, and eat probiotic food like yogurt, but also make sure that you get a really high quality probiotic. By getting a high quality probiotic, you will start getting the issue under control, because we have pretty much destroyed a lot of our bacteria throughout the years because of antibiotics, because bad nutrition, and also because of stress. So how to get it back under control? Good probiotics. Coconut oil is also a good one, but we'll do a segment on that after. So bacterial, once you have made sure that you have your bacterial under control, we go to number 2, which is nutritional. Nutritional, that's the one that happens every single day also. We are overfed and undernourished. So we are actually taking a lot of calories, but these calories are not giving us the nutrients that we need. So we are filling ourselves with sugar and salty and sugar and just food that is airy. And so I was giving an example the other day on a live video. We're giving our children Cheetos, and we're giving our children cereal, and everything we buy is puffy and crunchy and sugary. But is it really nutritious? Because we're sending our children to school with cereal and a milk, if they drink milk, which really neither of them are as healthy as we think, unless you're buying the good quality cereal and some nice milk, which could be either organic if you're still having dairy, which, I have minimized dairy at my home. But if you want to have some almond milk, some soy milk, some coconut milk, there's so much variety. You could actually try one every week and still get more pleasure out of this. So the nutritional is very important, which is we're eating a lot just because our bodies are never full. The third one is emotional, and I mentioned to you that was really what I had, what had happened to me. Emotional is about food is pleasurable. So for me, it was not that I was going under stress, but a lot of people are, and so you have to analyze if you are creating an enhancing possibility for your body, or you're covering something. So if you are afraid because you're getting maybe a test the next day, or you have an appointment or even a date, and you start overeating, and it's not healthy. Now, if we talk about healthy eating, we talk about emotional in a good way is also, again, it's a good one, but it's not so good. We were just talking with my friend here. She had dinner at her house, and we say that in a lot of the cultures, so she's explaining to me that in the Indian culture, people do not and talk while they eat because they really concentrate on the food. And I want to talk a little bit about that. But in my culture and a lot of the Mediterranean cultures, or we gather around the table and we talk a lot while we eat. But so we tend to eat more than what we should because we make it a social event. And so it is actually good in a way because you are, having the community part. But we'll touch on that in a futures in a slide in a moment, which is if you really should concentrate on your food and then do the socialization. And the last one is physical. We are animals and we are physical. We should actually enjoy everything we do, but we actually are using food as part of the enjoyment. And so what my advice is, find other ways of enjoyment, like not just alcohol and food, which is, again, something cultural, but do something that is fun with your life. And we'll talk about that also in a future slide. So I was listening to a podcast, and we'll go into mindfulness too, but I want to just close this slide with Alexandra James, which was the co-star for Super Size Me. If you guys did not watch that movie, you should. It's amazing. So Super Size Me was an Oscar-nominated film on how the North American society is supersizing everything. We go to a fast food place and they give us a deal, right? 2 pies for $1, or would you like to upgrade that fries to a bigger one? And just because we want to, make it cheaper, it just seems so much more value for our money. We say yes. So the Super Size Me movie was great. And I was listening to a podcast from Dr. Hyman and interviewing her. And she was just right on these. This is where I got the 4 reasons why we're overeating. So let's talk a little bit about craving other than food. So when you're craving other than food, it's a dangerous habit. And so what we recommend, or what I recommend in with this slide, is just thinking about what you're eating. So let's talk a little bit about first disconnecting so that you can connect. So mindfulness is eliminating everything. It's a Buddhist philosophy, and I am not a Buddhist, I am a Christian, but I'll make the example with both because really for me, this is what helped me a lot. And I don't call it mindfulness, but we'll use this as an example. And if whatever religion or whatever, spiritual belief that you have, or if you just don't have a belief and you practice mindfulness, it really is about getting an understanding of your own emotions. And so for me, I actually started reading a book when I was on my weight loss journey that was called The Daniel Plan, 40 Days to a Healthier Life. And the first chapter of the book was on faith. So it's pretty much the same thing, mindfulness or faith. And for me, that was the first time I ever heard the term asking God to help you with what you need. And so I actually had been trying to do this on my own strength, trying to lose the weight, when I realized that, I was getting to size 14 and I had to change the store because now I was a plus size woman. I wanted to lose weight, but it took me about a year to finally be able to start the actual journey. And so now I realize that mindfulness leads to something very good, because you need to connect with your greater source, your greater power. And if it is within you, or if it's whatever you want to believe, for me is God in Christ. For other people is, like I said, if you're Buddhist or a Hindu or Sikh, or just connect to the higher power to ask for the greatest thing that you can have, which is self-control. Self-control, yes, that's how easy it is. So what is mindful eating? Mindful eating is the process of paying attention to everything, your cravings, your physical cues, every emotional response that you get while you eat. So there are many elements to this practice. So the first one, and again, this is the one that I am still not achieving. So this is where I need to practice my mindful eating and connect with my higher power and say, help me eat slower. So number 1 tip on or stop overeating is eat slower. Chew small pieces. Cut everything very small. and remove distractions. Now, just refine that communication with your body and distinguish the response that your body gives you between physical and emotional hunger, because we are beings that really we want to make sure that we confront the eat to live versus the live to eat. So which one are you in right now? You need to slow your fork. Now I'm going to read you a little bit about a study here, and it's really, this one surprised me. I was really reading to my mom this study because like I said, I am a fast eater, and I've been trying to work slowly on this. And what happens if I've created this habit on my child, but my mom eats fast. I think in my family, all of us eat fast. And so it's also inherited. So what I'm trying to do is get Mateo to actually eat slower. He said the other day, Mommy, the teacher says you do not serve me enough lunch because I eat so fast. And I said, did the teacher really say that? He said, no, but I'm the first one to always finish lunch. And that's when I said, oh my gosh, I really think that I need to work a lot more on helping my child eat slower. So this is why I do what I do. It's not just to teach my child, but to teach all of you that want to listen to me about what to do. By the way, I think some of you know that actually Mateo is now in a weight loss journey, not because I want to, but because the doctor ordered it, because he was 96 percentile in his class, so when he went to the pediatrician 3 months ago, they told me that he needed to lose weight because he was 96 percentile on his weight. So they gave me some tips, and that we're working on that. So I'm happy to report that, yeah, we're working on everything for him to slowly and healthy for a 6-year-old child lose weight. So that's what I'm trying to teach. So let's talk a little bit about slowing your fork. The benefits of is eating slower are plentiful. So if you eat quick, you have poor digestion, weight gain, and you have less satisfaction from your meals. So of course, if you eat slower, you're going to have efficient digestion, better hydration, and you're going to be able to control better your weight management, and you're going to enjoy your food. So here's the study. Researchers at the University of Rhode Island examined the speed of various participants, and they found this. Slow eaters consume 2 ounces of food per minute. Medium eaters, 2.5, and fast eaters, 3.1. Now, why was that interesting? And I'm going to tell you why. This is incredible. Using this data, they concluded that someone that eats fast will approximately consume 22 more ounces of food. So let's measure that. Woman who ate quickly consumes 646 calories in 9 minutes. And the ones who ate slowly consumed 579 in 29 minutes, which reads 67 less calories in 20 more minutes. So you realize that? I said, wow, I am the 9-minute woman. And for a long time, I've been eating so fast. I can cut almost 70 calories just by eating that 10-minute meal and actually eating it in 30 minutes. And so this is my challenge for today. Challenge number 1, everybody, get to your agendas and make sure that you plan proper time for your meals. Do not squeeze it in as something that you have to do just because you're feeding your body. Because if you're in this webinar, or if you're watching it, it's because you want to learn how to, eat less. And that's the number 1 tip. Time for yourself. Time to schedule your lunch and your dinner. 30 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes. So the next one is put down your utensils between bites. Now, also, you can actually count how many bites you chew. That one's a little extreme. But you can also, this one is the one that I am practicing now. And we did it even today when we had dinner. Take smaller servings at first and then allow yourself to go back if you find it that you still need it. The thing is that food takes almost 20 minutes to give the signal of satiety. So 20 minutes to give the signal of I am satisfied. And so if you're eating in less than 20 minutes, your body has not even been able to give the signal to the brain that is satisfied, and you're still eating. So if you prolong that meal, like I said, for 20 or 30 minutes, you're actually not going to be hungry after those 20 minutes. So the other thing, and again, the book that I read, as I said, the Daniel Plan, had something that was very important, and it's friends, or find the community. A lot of you have had issues just because it's just a habit that you have in your family. So maybe the husband or the wife wants to do the weight loss journey, but the other person is not ready to leave the chicken wings and the French fries. So this really has to be a community based decision for the family, because we can't have somebody at the dinner table trying to eat vegetables and a nice piece of salmon and the other one's eating pizza and chicken wings, because it's really hard when you don't have family and friends that support you. The other thing, like I said, is friends. If you're eating a lot with people that love going to all-you-can-eat buffet, that love going to, half-price chicken wings on Tuesday, you're going to have to change the friends. And it really is, because I unfortunately had to do a little bit of that when I was doing it, because it doesn't mean that you lose the friend. It just means that you don't get to hang out when they do those events. Or that's why I said it requires a lot of self-control. And it's not about self-control for you to put the meal in your mouth. It actually demands sometimes just not going to some parties or not going to some events. And this is what it is about, because we really are eating just too much. So guide to slowing down and minimizing distractions. We are surrounded by distractions, entertainment, the TV, the computer, the phone. So I know you guys probably have heard this one a lot, but keep your phone off the dinner table. If you have small children like myself, make sure that you sit with them, that you enjoy the meal with them. This is one of the behaviors that I have with Mateo, which is actually just slowing down for breakfast and making sure that I am with him, enjoying the breakfast together. And not, so if you're a mom that is rushing and running and you're making breakfast while your kids are eating, I invite you to restructure the way that you are preparing or making the breakfast. You might have to do something from the night before, maybe some overnight oatmeal, or even just boil the eggs the night before. I know you can do something, but we also have some Facebook groups that where we can share some ideas. But restructuring the way that you make your meals helps you get the family together, sitting down at least for one of the meals. Most of the time you cannot have lunch with your family unless it's Saturday and Sunday. But if you can just schedule some of those dinner times to enjoy the time together, then you're going to actually find that it's more enjoyable, which is what we're trying to do. Why? Because then it doesn't become a mindless act. We talked about mindfulness, and now getting those distractions back into taking care of the food that you're eating. You're going to miss all the natural hunger cues, and you're going to start overeating if you're just doing it to fill the plate, to fill a need, to feed the family, to cook because the kids have to eat, or the husband or the wife have to eat. You really have to make it a mindful act. Now, the other things that you want to do after you finish your meal is ask yourself these 4 questions. Did I enjoy this food? How much did I eat? Am I getting full? Do I feel nourished? So I'll put those questions under the video. So if these questions are hard to answer, it is a clear indication that you haven't been paying attention to your plate. So like I said, just start asking yourself some of these questions. Rely on your senses. Now let's talk a little bit about senses. Senses are something that it's incredible. I've touched a lot on this subject when I talk about digestion. So we've had several seminars where we have talked about healthy digestion, and we talk about just the cleanse and detox part of our programs that we do. So I am so thankful. And I wake up in the morning, and sometimes when I'm in prayer time, I say to God, thank you for my 5 senses, because we run through the day without noticing that we are perfect and that we were giving these 5 senses for a reason, and they're for our enjoyment. So when you lack a sense, you just miss out so much in life. So what I want to tell you a little bit is the senses. So how do we tie the senses to food? Let's start with taste. Taste may seem obvious, but how often do we really pay attention to the individual taste of food? So for example, what you ate today. Go back to whatever you had for dinner. Most of you are either at dinner time or finishing dinner or finished already dinner. I want you to think of it. Did you have sweet in your dinner? Did you have sour, bitter, salty, savory? Can you tell what seasonings were on it if you were not the one that cooked it? Can you taste the seasonings that you put on it? Do you like the way that it turned out, that it tasted? Smell. The smell of food is closely related to taste. Notice the smell. Did it smell fresh? Does it remind you of something, of your childhood? What about the look? The look, the shape, the color, the size of your food. How many colors had your food today? Were they vibrant? Were they dull? Do you think that the presentation of the meal was appealing? Can you tell how it was prepared by looking at it? What about feel? Pay attention to the texture of how the food feels in your mouth when you're eating it. Is it crunchy? Is it chewy? Is it grainy? Is it greasy? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it dry or moist? Is it light? Is it heavy? So now think about listen. Listen to the food. Believe it or not, food makes noise. We just forget to listen. When you bite into the food, does it crunch? Does it slurp? What do you hear when you're actually having that food in your mouth? So I want to tell you a little bit about the dinner that I had today at my friend Kawinder. Many of you know that Kawinder is from India, and if you don't, I'm introducing you to Kawinder. She's my best friend. My gosh, we have been in this health advocacy for many, many years, but she's really very knowledgeable on food. I think a lot of Indian people are, but she has taught me so much, and I have learned especially lately, and today was proof of it, because Indian people eat a lot of veggies, and they eat a lot of spice, and they eat a lot of condiments, starting with curry and cardamom and paprika and all these things. And I'm Colombian, so we spice up our food a little bit, but not in the way that Indian people do. Now, today she served a delicious salad, and she was telling me that she had put lemon on it for salad dressing, and I could just taste the lemon as she was saying it. And a lot of the times her food comes fresh from her garden. It's not out yet, the gardening stuff, but she chops it up and she puts 6 colors, 7 colors, the way we have been telling people to do. Now, the next thing she cooked was this delicious chicken, and the chicken had curry, and it had, what is the anti-inflammatory? Turmeric. It had turmeric, chicken with turmeric, which is an anti-inflammatory spice, and it was just so delicious. Now, the other thing we ate was this rice she made. She made rice with lots of veggies, and it also had soy sauce instead of salt, so it was really delicious. Now, the combination of the food, plus I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks, so we talked a little bit and just ate really slowly, was delicious. So think about, when was the last time you actually sat down and enjoyed your meal? Now, I'm going to give you at the end some tips to enjoy it. Hydrate. We did a whole segment on this, so I'm just not going to go very deep on this, but did you know that the same part of your brain that is responsible for communicating when you're hungry is the same one as when you're thirsty? So it gets confused. A lot of the times, we did this one on deconstructing cravings. It's just about water. You actually get the craving and you think you're hungry, but it's not really that you're hungry, it's that you're thirsty. So my advice, take a glass of water and wait for 15 minutes. So if what you're trying to do is stop overeating, the first sign of craving, you actually should be taking some water, because we talked about this. If you're drinking the right amounts of water and you're drinking the water the way that it should, which is at least every hour, you should not really be getting hungry. Again, I did a whole class on sleep, so I'm just going to cut this one really short. Sleep schedule has to do with just putting your body on a mode of rest and digest. So when you are sleeping, your parasympathetic nervous system hits in against the one that you are during the daytime, which is your fight or flight mode, which is your sympathetic nervous system. So when you're resting, your body is in recoup. Your body is building back everything that you need. Your immune system is just working to regenerate every cell that was used during the day. Now, if you're sleeping 4.5, this is a study that they did. if you're sleeping 4.5 hours for 4 nights in a row, you normally eat 300 more calories in snacks versus those that get 8 hours. And when we're talking sleep is good sleep. So I'm going to give you a good example. I'm one of the ones I'm working really, really hard on getting my sleep habits better. So I was sleeping 4.5 hours. I'm now up to 6 in about 2 months that I've been exercising. I was so proud of myself that I finally got to the week where I'm averaging 6 hours of sleep, which is still not enough. And I'll tell you because I know why we're eating more. So I'm always telling all of my clients that they should be eating like a child. You should be eating when you wake up. So you're eating at 7 in the morning, 10 in the morning, 1, 4, and 7. So you're eating 5 meals. And then you should be going to sleep around, 9, 10. But if you're not going to sleep at 9 or 10 and you're sleeping at midnight, that leaves you with, you had dinner at 7, then you have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 5 hours. So your body's already, to increase your metabolism, you actually need to eat more. So if you want to watch one of my lives that I did yesterday, it was about portion control and eating more often. You want to lose weight? You got to eat more. You want to lose weight? You got to eat more healthy fats and eat high intake of protein. So it's actually about eating more of what is nutritious and eating more times throughout the day. Then your metabolism will jumpstart again and you will start losing weight. Yes, you lose weight when you eat more. Isn't that incredible? But the other thing, like I said, if you're having 5 meals and you're going to sleep at around 9 or 10, it's great. But if you're sleeping at midnight or 1 a.m., which a lot of people do, then they need to fit in that last snack. Now, that last snack, normally your body, and they're studying this, so I don't have the study for this one, but I was reading on it. They haven't discovered what the neurological return pathway, the mechanism that gives you that happy hormone actually needs fatty food at that time of the night. So you always are craving like the cookie and the milk or just something sweet that you have in your covers, which is not really good. So the best advice, if you're one of those that sleep late because you think you need to be out watching TV or something, make sure you have a healthy snack at hand, because if not, you're going to go for the bag of chips. Okay, make some space. Creating distance between your food is a healthy way to do it. What's a distance? For example, you finish your dinner, what you want to do is you want to push your plate away from you, or in fact, you just want to take and put it in the sink and finish talking to your family or doing what you need to do. Because if you have the plate, you're going to want to do that second. So the first thing we said is serve a small portion and see if you need another one. But if the plate is in front of you, you're going to want to serve more, especially if you're one of those people that have the servings in the table so that people can actually have more. So my recommendation, get the plate ready already when you sit on the table. Don't, all-time families, and including mine and Italians and Greeks, they serve the food in the middle of the table so you can keep just serving away. So that is not recommended if you're trying to stop overeating. Serve your food. The pots are still in the stove or the oven. Bring the plate to the table. And small portions. Now, if you need to get up, the act of getting up actually creates just already distance between that second serving, because now you're like, I don't know if I want to get up. I'm having fun here talking. So that's one of the things. The other thing is if you're snacking with friends and you're going to restaurants, skip the appetizer. There is no need to have an appetizer unless it's something super healthy like celery sticks. Or carrots. You can eat broccoli. You can eat as many veggies as you can. This rule does not apply if you're snacking on vegetables. That's the only one allowed. Fruit, we talked about that. You can have fruit, but you can't have too much fruit because it's still sugar. So you don't want to create that fructose high elevation in your blood if you're just, I'm eating healthy, and then you're eating a whole bunch of fruits. So it's better to eat a lot of them, of the veggies, than the fruit. Now, let's remove some of the traps. What are the traps? Traps, they're everywhere. So if you're in an office, you have candy in an office, it's within reach, it's visible. People bring the treats to work. it's hard. I fall for it when people bring me oh, it's sugar-free cookie, and it's not really sugar-free, because sugar-free would mean no sugar. Now, people don't sweeten their things with stevia because it's expensive, so that would be another option. But unless it's sugar-free, you should not be eating it, because it's going to create that sugar addiction that we talked about before. So again, snacking. And so let me give you some tips. So order less and allow yourself for seconds. Use smaller plates and taller glasses. So you need to fill with water, like when you're drinking water, or if you're eating a pure pulp juice, then that's going to fill you up more, instead of just drinking a little bit and eating a lot. And play around with color in the dishes. Look at this beautiful salad. That looked like the salad I ate today. Heavy, healthy, filling foods are always available, and don't eat from the package. Serve it. Even if you have a bag of chips, or, I'm not talking that, like, I know we're still going to eat the chips, even if they're healthier, but don't grab it from the bag. This is one of the habits that we always used to have, which is not a good habit. Aesthetically pleasant. The way that you serve your food is really important. And so when you're having breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make sure that you're serving for yourself. Like I said, if you're allowing yourself those 20 or 30 minutes for yourself, give yourself that gift. Your body is going to be so thankful for it. So what you want to do is you want to prepare it nicely on the plate. What I do is, even if I'm taking it in a container because I am doing something at work and I'm in a place where I can actually have access to a dish, to a plate, I serve my food on a plate. So do not eat it from the microwave, you heated it up on the microwave. And you want to just make sure that you put it very nicely for you. Add pleasure to your meals, and play some relaxing music or light a candle. And use your best dishes. Don't use the best dishes when other people guests come to your house. Use them for you. The best way also is stopping processed food. The processed food that we eat today, the only thing that they're doing is sending signals that we're hungry. I spoke on my previous class on the sugar, the case against sugar, that they are scientists. They're called food scientists. The food industry is actually hiring food scientists to create chemical effects in our body to want to have more of these pre-packaged food. So what we're eating just creates that craving instead of satisfying us. Think about it. Do they really want us to be satisfied? Of course not. They want us to eat more because it's more money for them. So your brain is actually waiting patiently for the protein and the fiber, and is not getting it. So by not getting the nutrients, and it's just getting confused, as I said on the first slide. Each meal should be constructed with nutrients. Each meal should be balanced. Each meal should have everything that you would want for, like I said, your children. You should put some nice salad in. Again, portions are important. I talked yesterday on my live about maybe getting some of those portion control packs, or even using measuring cups, because you want to have a lot of salad and a little bit less fruit and a little bit less protein and a little bit less and less carbs. So there's really a sizing chart, and I can just attach a picture to my live. Again, quit skipping meals. And so this is something I keep telling people. This is so common. People think that they just need to have their breakfast, their lunch, and their dinner. Do not skip one of the meals, but especially do not skip the snacks, because the snacks are really what has stolen from us that healthy metabolism. So you wake up after 8 hours of fasting, and sometimes you just skip that breakfast just because you're in a rush. Then you stop at the coffee shop, you get that coffee with a croissant. That's not giving you the nutrition that you need. Same deal with what I said to you before. If you're feeding your child just a quick sweet Cheerios is good, sorry, some sweet cereal, load it with sugar and just a little bit of milk. At least try and add some natural fruit that you just cut fresh from the bowl, from the fruit bowl, and so that can counteract a little bit. What I personally do is I put some of the vanilla protein powder into the child's milk so that you can add some protein. And feed your children and feed yourself the way that you were fed when you were a child. Like I said before, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. It's 5 times. 5 times. If there is a diabetic in your family, or you know anybody that has diabetes, I have to live with one because it's my beautiful and wonderful mom who has suffered from diabetes since she's 77, and she suffered diabetes for almost 30 years. And I have a lot of friends and a lot of family members that have diabetes. So what happens is, I know for a fact, every time they visit a diabetes counselor or a diabetes nutrition specialist, they tell them 5 meals, and they give them plates so that they know what to measure for. The plate should actually, it's very simple. If you only have a plate and it's a circle, half of it should be vegetables, and 1/4 can be protein, and the other quarter can be not too much, but the carbs. But we tend to eat more spaghetti and more rice on the half of the plate, and then put the other 2 in the other quarter. So if you need more help, we can talk a little bit more about portion control. Stress management. Well, this is the one I was telling you about because, stressful situations can lead to emotional eating. And emotional eating, just like the stressful situation, can release cortisol. And cortisol is the stress hormone. Once you get cortisol out of control, it is so hard just to put it back into thermostat mode. Because when it goes out of control, then that's when people become really overweight or really stressed and really sick, because you can't get your stress under control. So the cortisol releases the hunger sensation to your body. So although food is often the quick fix for stress, it is the unhealthiest habit. So when you feel that you're getting a little bit of stress, just like I said, maybe you have a test in the morning or a big project at work, or maybe you had a little bit of an argument with the teacher or, your partner, a couple of things. Go for a nice walk, take a warm bath, listen to your favorite music, start a new book, call a friend, exercise, or practice meditation or prayer. Now, power of accountability. I already talked a little bit about this, involving family and friends in this process. A lot of people want to stop overeating, but it really is about not doing it alone. I have, to many of the clients that we have, said, if you want to go into our Cleanse, Detox, and Balance group, this is a group that can help you just to have a group of like-minded people that love health, that want to live longer and healthier. And we want you to share recipes, share everything that you have learned. And if you want to share a video, and I want to share a video of yourself, I'm actually going to start posting 30-second videos of a quick exercise that you can do every day for 30 seconds. Can you believe that? So I'll start that next week. So remember, ask yourself these questions. Am I hungry? Am I satisfied? Do I need more food? What is causing me to crave more? How fast did I eat? Did I eat intentionally? Did I enjoy what I have eaten? Would I have changed anything? Honor your response and adjust accordingly. Remember that it's unlikely that this change will occur overnight. However, there are many strategies to begin implementing immediately, and this will help you with the battle against indulgence. So thank you very much. I'm just going to go back to the screen and share with you. Okay, it's 9:47, so I'm on time to finish this. Let me tell you a little bit about the book. Oh my gosh, let me see if I can get that glare out. So this is the book, okay, too much glare. The Daniel Plan. This is the book that I was telling you guys about. These are the kind of books I used to actually read before. This one's called A Smart Guide to a Smart Woman's Guide to Weight Loss. That didn't help me a lot. Now this one, 21 days, 21 pounds in 21 days. These are the kind of books that are really good if you already have the overindulgence under control. Because what happens is that if you don't know how to control that, it's not easy. It's not easy. You need to have, like I said, the support of friends, the support of family members, the support of a team or a group of people that want to be there for you, that want to help you, and that love you. And so that's what it's about. And so here's my best advice. You know, like I said to a lot of people when I invited them to this meeting, how much do you love being healthy, and how much do you want to overextend your life, but in a way where your joints don't hurt? And so for those of you that follow me on Facebook, I put last couple of days ago, I said, my family suffers from early arthritis. So my sister at 42 could not shake people's hands because her pain was so bad in these fingers. And she has been able to not reverse it. She's in a lot of pain still, but she has been able to slow it down, if we can put it in other words. So slow it down through supplementation, proper eating, and losing weight. Now, my brother, who has just started his journey on this new lifestyle that my sister and I are loving and living, Jamie, kudos to you. He started his detox, his full reset last month. He's eating healthier than ever. Now, like I said to him and other of my friends and clients, it takes 2 to 3 years. Don't feel bad if your first detox doesn't go well. Don't feel bad if, you know, after this seminar, you're actually still overeating and you can't lose weight, because it takes a couple of years to realize what to do. But here's where it hits you. How much do you want to overextend your life for the sake of your children? And so when I started noticing that that heavy, heavy woman could not go in her knees to pick up her child, that's when I said, I can't keep gaining weight. I could not lift my child because I just really felt that my knees were in so much pain. I was going through a lot of stress. My father had passed away that few months prior to that. And so I had something really weird happening in my body. And so a lot of the ones that were there at that moment know that I was in so much pain that I could not walk, I could not sit. It was just, everything was in pain in my body. And so for me, it was really a health cry. My body was screaming. Now, the other thing, and why I'm now healthier and fitter than I was even a year ago, is because my hands have been starting also to hurt. So I know the arthritis is coming. I know that it is something that, as we always know, comes with age. But I'm very young. I'm 45. Thank you. Yes, I am a 45, not that young actually. But here's the thing. Can I slow it down? Yes, through nutrition. Again, if you're following on my Facebook, I posted something on a doctor that wrote a book that says you can slow down your arthritis through food, through nutrition. So everything that you put in your fork can either make you better or make you sicker. So if you want to not live, this is a book that Coinder's lending me, Living a Healthy Life with Chronic Conditions. Chronic condition is inflammation. Inflammation just produces pain in so many places. So if you are ready to change your life and change your lifestyle, start with food. Start with food. I don't want to have hands that could not play with my child. I don't want to have arthritis pain in my knees, debilitating, me to the point that I won't be able to play in 5 or 10 years with him. I want to be a healthy, not mom, grandma. I want to be a 70-year-old grandma or 80-year-old grandma that can throw that ball to my grandchildren. And so because this is a long term, I understand it. So if you're into this new way of living, talk to us. Talk to the person that shared this video with you, or talk to your, like I said, your doctor, going to functional medicine doctor, and say, what changes do I need to make this better? So thank you very much. I do have a draw, but what happens is, and I don't know, Michael, if you agree, we're going to send this one to Heidi, because you two are the ones that are live on the video. This one's the one that you actually won last seminar, and I'm going to send it to you, but now I'm going to send this one to Heidi. This is the draw for registering and attending the Zoom live. And just to end, I can't check my Facebook, so I think I'm going to answer to anybody that asked any questions. Let me see. I think Heidi might be writing me, or Michael. Oh, Heidi, you're excited. Okay. Yes, it's a really cool little gift. I like it. You'll like it and enjoy it. And, when people see you drinking out of it, they'll ask you what it is. So that's good. So can you please, through email or messenger, send me your address so I can send that to you? And that way I can send both Michael and you one of those gifts for attending live. So thank you very much. And I'm ending the meeting, and I will be answering. Yeah, I can't do Facebook at the same time as I'm doing the meeting. I thought I did, but I actually can't. Let me see if I can. Maybe I can. Just give me a second and see if I can answer any questions live. I'll just, you know what, I'll let you guys go. I'm just going to answer them when I see them. The Facebook is opening right now. So let me just finish the meeting. Thank you. And let me tell you something. Oh, I got another question, I think is from Heidi. Yeah, you will do. Let me tell you, on the 30th, I am having another one, but I'm not going to go into like the negative. This time I'm going to go into positive. So we're talking about superfoods. And on the next one, I'm actually going to do, I'm going to maybe do a poll. If you guys want to do keto, keto science or keto diet, I know a lot of people are into that. And the other thing, I look beautiful. Thank you so much. I did my hair today just because I'm not going to the pool with Mateo. And so I said, I better do my hair for the first time in a few weeks. Tell me if you guys want to do keto food or if you want to do intermittent fasting, which is something that people are so much into. So I can do intermittent fasting or I can do keto diet. And so I'll do them both. I just want to know which one you guys want to watch first. So thank you so much. I love you. This is why I do what I do, because I love you guys. It's a not-for-profit video. I don't advertise my products. I don't advertise my company. I don't advertise my services. All I want you guys to know is that I want to have you here on this planet for a long time so I can enjoy your company and my child can have a lot of friends too. So thank you for watching. And keto. Okay, so keto. I got my first person that says what she wants to watch. Type if you want keto or type if you want intermittent fasting on your Facebook, okay? That way it gives me an idea of what to do next. But on the 30th, don't forget to watch. It's superfoods. All right, guys? So thank you, and until the next one.